What's up, guys? Welcome back to the Moto Vlogs. This is the Wicked Devil here, and today we're going to talk about some more interesting stuff while we ride a motorcycle. Woo! Yeah! Okay, guys, so today's topic is going to be the Volkswagen diesel scandal. Now, I don't know if you guys have heard about this or if you're into cars. I know this is a motorcycle channel, but, you know, we're going to talk about everything related, and this is one of the biggest things in automotive or motorcycle news. This is one of the biggest things out there, and that's the Volkswagen diesel scandal. Now I'm going to go ahead and explain everything about the diesel scandal because you read a lot in the news and you really don't get a lot of information about it, so I'm going to break down all of the info that you need to know about the diesel scandal. So Volkswagen is the #1 and the largest auto manufacturer in the world by volume. So there are other ways to determine how big an auto manufacturer is, but by volume, Volkswagen is #1. Now, Volkswagen over the years has been the main group to actually try to get diesel cars to be popular in America or worldwide. You know, diesel cars are super popular in Europe because they get crazy high MPG. I mean, you got people with diesels getting 45, sometimes 50 plus, even more MPG. People going like, you know, 6 or 7 or 800 miles on a tank. It's freaking insane. So, you know, a lot of companies now like BMW, Mercedes, and a lot of other big manufacturers, yeah, nice, you know, are trying to bring out diesels now, but the main, you know, manufacturer that actually made it big has been Volkswagen. They've been putting the most money and the most effort into it. So Volkswagens actually, you know, they produce a lot of diesels, diesel Jettas, diesel Passats, and a lot of different types of vehicles, okay? But, you know, they make these diesel cars that sell, you know, huge around the world. And one of the things that Volkswagen tries to claim about the diesels is that they're very clean. They're clean running diesels. They get super high MPG, and they're very efficient cars for your pocket, and they're very efficient for the environment. So here's where the scandal comes in. Now, diesels are much different than gasoline. We're driving a gasoline motorcycle here, but diesels are completely different. They run differently. They use different fuel. Just the whole design of the engine is different. Now, what happened is that the EPA found out that Volkswagen with Jettas, it's going to be Jettas, Passats, Golfs, Beetles, a new Beetle, and then Audi A3s built from 2009 to 2015 were actually cheating the emissions test. Isn't that freaking crazy? So the way they were doing this was they were actually using a Trojan software built into the car to actually cheat the emission test. Now I'll explain this right now for you guys. So worldwide there is emissions testing. Some countries have it, some countries don't. California is the hardest of all the emission testing. That's where I live here in California. That's where we're riding right now in beautiful Los Angeles. But because the smog in Los Angeles was so bad, you know, 30 years ago, they got all on this emissions testing. Now what happened was that the EPA found this type of software installed in the diesel. So here's how the software actually works. The software modifies the vehicle when it knows it's getting a emissions test. So what actually happens is that these Volkswagens were putting out like huge amounts of pollution, but the down, you know, the side of the pollution was that they got really good MPG, and it wasn't like they were polluting like a huge amount. It's just they were putting out like higher levels of what's called NOx. So Volkswagens actually are all diesel cars. You know, they run differently, and the way they have another sensor inside that actually measures unburnt fuel in the exhaust system. Now you're thinking, oh, who wants unburnt fuel in their exhaust? Well, unburnt fuel can work with the diesel, and there's actually a NOx collector in the exhaust. And what they were actually doing was they found out that these Volkswagens were getting super high MPG, and they were getting, you know, great power, great torque out of a diesel. But you know, the way they were doing this was they were actually cheating. So here's how it works. So you buy the Volkswagen, it gets great MPG, it gets great torque and horsepower. And when you go, you know, once every 2 years or however long your state or country needs smog checking, what they actually do is they plug a computer into your car, and then, well, the car is getting tested. The car actually knows by a special software inside the computer that it's plugged up to the emissions, the, you know, the wheel speed, the wheel being turned, all this types of sensors in the vehicle are activating and turn on this Trojan horse software when the you know, this guy is just not going, and you need to go because it's green light. The Trojan horse software actually is able to adjust the parameters inside the engine so that you actually cheat the emissions test. Now, freaking crazy, right? And then when they unplug, they pollute more, but they get better MPG, better torque, and better horsepower. Okay, so crazy. So the EPA found this out. They found that Trojan horse, and now Volkswagen is kind of screwed on this big deal. Now, there's been a lot of scandals over the years for a lot of different cars. Just to name a few, there was the Prius gas pedal scandal. There was also the scandal for the GM had the ignition switch problem, and that was a big huge scandal. And then Ford even had that scandal with the Firestone tires, where the Firestone tires were popping and on Explorers, and cars were crashing. Now, Volkswagen scandal is pretty big. It's because it affects a lot of cars, and it was intentionally done. Like, they intentionally modified the software of the vehicle to, you know, pass these tests and lie their way through. So, which is pretty funny. Now, this was such a bad thing for Volkswagen that the CEO, he actually resigned from his position, which is kind of shitty, but he resigned. That's how it is. And the EPA is fining Volkswagen 37, wow, look at that, almost had an accident right there. And to be honest, the person in the SUV didn't have the right of way, so he's an asshole. You know, they're charging the EPA is charging Volkswagen $37,000 a fine per automobile built from 2009 to 2015, and that includes like several different models. So they're getting a big one hit, and Volkswagen's really trying to you know, do a good thing to handle it. They're saying, you know, we're sorry, we're apologizing, and that's good of them, you know. But they knew it was there, which is the craziest part. So here's my opinion of the Volkswagen scandal. I think it's freaking awesome. Thumbs up, Volkswagen. So first of all, diesel cars kind of suck. They're slow and they're not fun to drive. But the reason they're not fun to drive is because of all the emissions that's attached to it. That's one of the, and the characteristics of the engine. But you know, they're not that fun to drive as a performance car. But Volkswagen cheated the system to give the customers better MPG, better fuel economy, what's MPG, and better horsepower and better torque. So they're actually trying to do everything they can for the buyers of the car. They're trying to give me a better car. They're just trying to bypass all that stuff. Now, honestly, sometimes in life it's better to cheat. You will get farther in life cheating, and that cheat was one of the best things ever. I think that was freaking awesome. Hey look, it's this guy right here. Hey, it's this guy. Hi. Oh, funny stuff. Yeah, so yeah, you know, that stuff is super cool to me, the Volkswagen. Oh man, traffic is so bad today. Oh my god. Okay. But you know, the Volkswagen scandal to me is crazy cool, and I think that it's awesome that they were able to bypass all of that emissions and actually you know, gain horsepower and torque by cheating around the government. So that's kind of freaking awesome. You know, the funny thing is that they're just trying to cheat the United States government, which that's funny because, you know, they put a lot of restrictions on cars anyways, and I know that stuff kills the environment and it's not good for planet Earth, but in reality, They did some crazy cool shit. And for, you know, gearheads like me that want more power, more MPG, more torque, better driving car, just for me, I don't care about everything else. I only care about, you know, me and my driving experience. Wow, that's a win, man. Volkswagen's awesome. So, you know, a lot of people are asking, like, do you lose trust in Volkswagen? Do you trust them now? They lied to you. Honestly, I trust them. Like, I mean, they went out of their way to give me a better car. Freaking awesome, you know? So hopefully that breaks down the Volkswagen scandal for you guys. I know it's kind of interesting. I think it's interesting. If you like my channel, or if you like this video, give it a thumbs up. I really appreciate it. Just go ahead and click that thumbs up button. If you like this video and you want to check out my other videos where I talk about interesting things while riding a motorcycle, because motorcycles are freaking awesome, go ahead and click that subscribe button. I'll put it right here in front of your screen so you can actually just click it and click my subscribe. We want you to subscribe to my channel. I really appreciate it, because I make these videos just for you guys every week, so you can get, you know, cool stuff about riding motorcycles. Awesome, man. So thanks a lot for watching, guys. I hope you guys have a safe time out there. Ride safe, safe fun. See you next time.